High five.
Hey Hugh, what's up? Sorry, I was just testing some stuff. Hope you're having a good day, Hugh. We're just running. We got about a minute and a half on ads, and we'll get things started here. Sure, yeah. Yeah, hopefully you're having a good day, Hugh. I'm not, but it is what it is. There's work that needs to be done, so we're gonna get that done here quick today, so we're on track for Thursday.
Welcome back. Let's get to it.
All right. All right. I'm gonna shuffle the playlist real quick. Shuffle. There we go. Get that back to where it needs to be. All right, welcome in, folks. Happy Tuesday. I hope your week is going well. Far from it. I'll just be lurking. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. I feel you, though. I feel you. It's definitely one of those days. But that's nothing new. Such is life, you know? All right. So yesterday we did this. We finished up the back of this guy. We did the front of this guy. And I got him in the oven and baked and ready to go. I'm actually kind of happy to say that this guy doesn't really need to be sanded. I might hit him a little bit here with the sandpaper, but overall he's pretty good. And same with this, like so far, no sanding necessary really. So that's good. I'm debating. I don't know. Do you guys like Wednesday or Tuesday streams better? We'll see how things go, but typically speaking, Tuesdays are pretty quiet. Oh shit, I don't have any scraps right yet. Okay. I like to have Wednesdays as my free day to handle things, but if it's better to stream on Wednesdays than Tuesdays, then I can definitely make this switch. One on the right reminds me of something. What, this one? I had to roll out a new sheet of clay here, so I just need to cut it to size. Then I'll switch cameras over and we'll get to work. A cartoon character? Huh. Not sure. Not sure who it would be. I did make an appointment for the other female rat we have, Hazel. She was our first rat. I love her to death. She's a sweetheart. She's a big rat too, and she's got the same issue as Pixie had with those growths, but they're internal. So I can't, they're not in the way, and they're not obstructions like what Pixie had, which is fortunate, but she can't be comfortable, and I hate to see her like that. So I will say for sure next Tuesday there is no stream because I have to take her to the vet, just for an exam, like to assess the situation, and then schedule surgery from there. So there's going to be a couple interruptions in the coming weeks, starting next week, but I'm hoping. I think Thursday or Wednesdays are a surgery day, and I know Fridays are. So if I luck out, next Tuesday I take her in. He decides she needs surgery, which I mean she does. It's just a matter of if it can be done within reason. Um, Maybe hopefully I can schedule it for Friday next week, so the operation itself isn't an interruption to stream, but obviously priorities, you know what I mean? Love you guys and all and everything, but I love that little rat too, and she needs to be taken care of. So looks cool though. Yeah, I didn't like that one at all until I got the bevels on him, and now I like him. Like him a lot better. It'll be even better once we clean up the eyes when we go around with the eye detail. This one's my favorite, and I like the Cyclops too. But I really like this guy. His eyes are they're gonna be all black, and then we'll go over them with UV resin. But I'm trying not to pick favorites because I'm gonna have to say goodbye to one of them. You know what I mean? I'm not used to that, man. I keep all my projects, so I'm not used to having to say goodbye. It's silly, I know, but I made it, and you get attached to those things, I suppose. Plus, I'm a silly, sentimental little bitch, so. Just not quite the same sentimentality as most people, I feel. Mm, I don't want it to be that wide. We're gonna go halfway. Wait a minute. Yeah. M is the letter M. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Welcome in. We'll get switched over to the appropriate screen here momentarily. Bear with me. We're just cutting some clay. Getting some strands ready for our bevels that we're going to be doing today. And I do apologize. Like, technically, I could probably start on eye detail today. But I just want to get these bevels done. And then on Thursday, that'll give us a whole stream. You know what I mean? We'll get a nice, good stream in on Thursday, finishing these guys up. Because by the time Thursday rolls around after today's stream, these guys will be ready for eye detail. And that's the final step there. So Thursday will be the final day of sculpting. And then I'm going to try my best to get some stream time in over the weekend because we don't really have anything going on to my knowledge. Not until next weekend. So, and next weekend's going to be a busy weekend because number one, if I get the rat in for surgery, we got that. We were going to go see Joker 2. And there's a craft fair that we're going to go to. Just to look. I'm not participating, mind you. Had to learn that with growing and selling bonsai. What, letting go? How to say goodbye to the things you've spent time invested in. Yeah, it'll be a weird little experience for me. Rob, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. What's up, man? What do we got? 3. Let's go ahead and cut one more so we've got an even number. We're going to do the edges, and then we're going to start in the middle and the back. Attachment, yeah. I don't know, like how folks like CNOT do it, dude. You spend hundreds of hours working on one project after another, and then you just send it on its way. I mean, I get it. That's what he does, obviously, but that would be tough for me. I get too attached. Like I had multiple offers, no number, but interest shown in purchasing the Jerboa, but there's no way, I love that Jerboa. That's like one of my favorite things I've done. Okay, let's get switched over here. Probably better with top down right now, but we'll get the dual cameras up. Okay. Halloween creepy sculpt mix is planned, so enjoy. We're going to split one of these in two for this first piece on either side. Give us a little bit of a narrow cut, and then straighten it out a little bit, So this is stiff. Let's get that cleaned out. Thought I followed you here. Turns out I didn't. Now I do. There you go. Hope you're having a good day, man. Bit of a rough Tuesday here, but there's work to be done, Got to get this sculpt completed by the end of the week so we can get into painting. I'm going to make sure we're centered on this. It's very difficult to see. Let's go this way. Oh, shit. Yeah, we're finally getting some rain here, man. We needed it bad. And a little bit slightly cool temperatures with that, thankfully. All right, that's our curved side. That's our curved side. Wait a minute, that can't be right. That's the flat side. So the next piece, we'll fill in there and then cut it at a straight line. I need my tools. So yeah, apologies, man. I know I'm a little bit low energy today. Honestly, just happy I got myself to hit the live button today. You know what I mean? We gotta get this done. I don't want to fall behind. But, you know, probably a good idea to focus on what needs done as opposed to why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, right? That's the best fox I've ever seen, Corpse. Happy Tuesday, man. Welcome in. How's Corpse today? I swear the first edge is always the most difficult. And we'll do this much the same as we did yesterday. We'll do the blending at the top, at the very end, once we get all the bevels in place. I find it's just easier to do it that way. Especially considering you have to kind of work out this area and you end up just doing it the same thing a bunch of times if you try to do it as you go. So I think I might have caught a cold on my travels last week, but I must push through. It's going around, man. from my experience, is a weird cold too. Like I said, I didn't even have a cough or anything. Just I felt congested, but my nose was clear. You know, my sinuses were all messed up, but I didn't have a stuffy nose or a cough. It started off with like a tickle in my throat and body aches for the first day. And it wasn't COVID because I had it the same thing that Minchie had, and she tested herself because of the nature of her work, you know. But yeah, and then like on the last day or two, my sinuses broke loose, and then I was stuffy, you know. So it was a weird cold because normally it's cough like, and it's my fault for being a smoker. No, I mean I vape now. I don't smoke, but still. But yeah, this one not the normal cold from my experience. Made a new sum up holder version 2. Save on resin. Doesn't have business card holder, just curing them now. Also painting a couple of mini balloon dogs for a friend's birthday present. Earrings and a keyring. Nice, dude. We met someone yesterday that came in on a raid, and they had some balloon dog jewelry that they had made. Yesterday was a really, really good stream. Thank you guys. Really made my day. Sorry to return to stream with a less than energetic display here, I suppose. All right. Yeah, I feel like thinner pieces are more difficult too, just getting those bevels to kind of come together. But it's fine. Lurking a fair bit. I did see quite a lot of raids along the way. Yeah, there was like 4 or 5 raids yesterday. New people too. People we hadn't, you know, there was a Throwdown came in on a raid, and Freaky Deek came in on a raid. And of course we know them. We had a couple raids from new folks. All right, I need to trim that down. We're gonna bring this to a bit of a point on this side. Every time I look at your stream on the right side, I think the smoke is like an incense stick in your room. It's kind of funny when I hit my vape and then it gets on camera and kind of meshes with the smoke in the background. Another thing I noticed too, my lighting in my slideshow, sometimes it blends right in with the background and looks pretty cool. Like on the break screen, for instance. totally not planned, but it just kind of worked out that way. I always find those little moments kind of fun. Like when you're editing a video and something just kind of falls into place, like whether it be the syncing of the music with what's happening on video. A lot of times, I find something cool happens when you're just, doing the editing, not even with intention. It's just like, oh, that really fit together well. Sometimes it's intentional, Um, I do I do like from time to time to play around with the beat of music in my editing on the showcase videos, for example. Takes a bit more time, but it's fun. Basically, the trick here is just working down that angle on the edge, and then taking and running the tool through here and working out any clay that gets pushed down and any little recesses between the strip and the main part of the sculpt here. And we'll get a few strips on each side before we start working from the middle on the back, and before we go over it with ISO. What happened there? Son of a bitch. Gonna have to be careful. Kind of a compromised little spot right here. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Be right back. Gotta feed the dog and put something in the air fryer for myself. Do what you gotta do, sir. Yeah, we'll be here. Got a bit of a gap in there, a bit of a void that I want to fill in, level it out to some degree. Get a little bit of a blend and get rid of our seams, and then we'll go in for some proper shaping and cleanup on that. All right, I know I said we were gonna wait, but given the nature of what we're doing with this piece right here, I'm gonna go ahead and go over it with some ISO. Let that breathe for a few. All right, next pieces are going to be full pieces, and then from the back side, we'll trim it to a more straight line. And then we'll do the middle piece here, and then work our way out on either side. And I'm going to go ahead and sit him down like this. Okay. This one's going to be difficult. Of course, the last one's going to be difficult. That's the rule, right? I can't sit this thing at an angle because we'll smash the other side. That should do. These ones with the thin little bits at the top can be a bit of a pain. There we go. There we go. That'll do. And let's get back to cleaning this up. A little bit of a surface air bubble there. You don't want air bubbles. It can be a real pain in the ass when you're dealing with lots of sheets like this. And if your pasta machine is anything like mine, a pain in the ass, that is. Unfortunately, it tends to like to put air pockets in when I roll it through, so I got to be extra careful. Not that it's the end of the world if you get a little air bubble, especially if it's a surface. You might get like a little protrusion, but typically you can sand that down and fill it in if need be. The real bad ones are the ones that make cracks, but that's typically the result of pretty egregious neglect and paying attention. I've never had, thankfully, an air bubble that shatters the sculpt or anything like that, so have had a few fractures from baking. Not with cosplay though. That's only a Sculpey thing, and I found a solution for that. Basically, I noticed that it seemed like a result of rapid temperature change, you know. So what I did, instead of taking it out of the oven when the timer's up, I would crack the oven, turn it off, let it sit in there and slowly cool. And then I stopped having fractures. So if that's something, if you're using Sculpey especially, and that's something you've experienced, definitely give that a go. Bake it for the time needed, turn off the oven, and don't take it out. Just crack your oven and let it cool slowly, you know, and that should alleviate the problem with the fractures in the surface. When we get to the first ad break, I'm gonna swap out my alcohol there. Okay, so one on the next side. What are we doing on time? 23 minutes, good. 23 minutes till our break. Good news, this is helping me use up my liquid Sculpey, because I have a brand new bottle of liquid Cos clay instead. I have a piece of fuzz stuck to my brush. And same thing over here. We'll trim down the back side. Damn it. God damn it. We should have done a little bit further in yesterday. This is going to be a hassle. If you didn't see, I had a little bit of a washcloth texture embedded into that from sitting on the washcloth. I do not remember this part of the song. Okay. I need a drink. Very repetitive task here, but it moves along well enough, I suppose. Definitely a little bit faster than doing the fur on the jerboa, isn't it? And on the back, we're going to go a little bit bigger with a few of the pieces too. So like the middle piece needs to be a bit wider at the base. That's where we put the, we're putting the little embed spot for the maker's mark. Which I'm pretty happy with my little design I came up with. Iteration 1 anyway. We are doing good though. Yesterday we made good time. We got a lot of work done yesterday, more than I had anticipated. We got we got everything done that I wanted to get done, but didn't expect we'd be able to. So we're on good track here. We finished this guy. The bevel's up on him today. Thursday will be exclusively reserved for working on the eyes and finishing these guys up. And then hopefully over the weekend, we'll get into painting. Painting's going to be very step oriented for a bit, and maybe even for the whole thing. We'll start off with layered washes in the inner mouth on all of these guys. We'll just go back and forth. And then from there, actually, before we do anything, we'll be hitting them with a primer. Give them a base coat with a diluted gesso. Thin it up a little bit because it's pretty thick stuff. Then we'll do the inner mouth. We'll start putting down, these are yellow, orange, and white. We'll start with a base bleed in on the white and the yellow, and then work out from the center with the orange. Not a terrible project. I wasn't very kind to myself. The inner mouth is going to be a bit challenging on basically all three of these guys, but it's nothing I haven't dealt with before. I'm always a dick to myself, you know? Sculpting me is kind of a jerk to painting me. Almost always. AC/DC, I came in at the perfect time. There you go. Welcome in, Captain Shires. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. As I've said, I apologize if I'm low energy today. It's a bit of a rough morning, but we got work to do. Stay on course here. And I certainly didn't want to cancel stream or anything like that, so we're making the best of it. Getting what needs done, you know? And then Thursday we'll have a nice day of finishing these guys up, getting them ready for paint. Okay, so let's get this guy out of the way. We're going to cut some strands. We've got one left, but it's time to start in the middle. So we're going to cut a larger one and then a few of the normal sized. Actually, we'll probably cut the large one and one more normal sized, and then we'll cut as we go after that. Rough morning. Hope you're well. At least, yeah, I'm all right. I'll be fine. It's just my head won't, my brain won't shut up, kind of thing, and it's just nonsense. Mostly. One of those. If anything, sculpting is probably good for a day like that. Yeah, I'll be all right. It's nothing new, nothing I'm not used to, The trick is to not let it just take over my whole day, and I haven't been very good about preventing that as of late, so today I would call a success at the very least, just based on that alone. I hit the live button, so. And I'm doing what I want to do in spite of it all. The alternative is I cancel stream and then feel bad about it all day. So it's kind of a lose-lose kind of situation on those days, but I'd say this is probably the better outcome, right? The way the world is, it's understandable these days. Yeah, man, not just speaking for myself, but I really feel for anybody that, like me, deals with a brain that, you know, a broken brain, and then they have to deal with this world on top of it. Really just kind of feeds into everything my brain's already wanting to say. But one thing I'll tell you, one thing that's not to say it like changes anything substantially or existentially, but it makes things a little bit easier is why do I let this world that I think is silly and stupid dictate how I feel so often? Not that it's an active choice, mind you, but reminding myself of that does, to some extent, help. It's kind of like same mentality, I suppose, is not letting stupid people have too much control over your feelings and actions, right? You know they're stupid, so why care? Their opinion means about as much as that of a rock, so who cares? And maybe, just maybe, some of the problems with the world that we face today are giving too much credence to the whims and whines of stupid people. Maybe, you know. Spoon. If you're wondering why the hell did he do that, Maker's Mark. Hell, I might just leave that in there. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to leave it. Makes coming home and sitting in front of my art desk and watching streams all the more worth it. Yeah. Yep. The things that bring us joy are the things we need to not forget about in a world such as this. And that's, it kind of feeds into some of the talks that we've had on my feelings on the importance of creating more than ever. Outside of the superficial, drive with regurgitated AI art, things of that nature, it's really nice to see people doing something of substance. Because to me, it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter if you're like the best or just beginning. If you're putting yourself out there or just creating as a hobby, that's all that matters. In a world that's so fixated on consumption and the superficial, I think that creating is rather bold. My fingers don't work properly today. Don't worry, when it comes to touch screens, my fingers never work. So, and then I resort to speech to text. And boy, is that always a disappointment. So hopefully we got 3 more pieces to put on here. That's not to say we're done when we get that far, because we got a little bit more cleanup and blending and stuff. So plenty of stream remaining today, but a little bit shorter. Definitely not a 4-hour stream today like it was yesterday. But Thursday's probably, Thursday we're going till it's done. So it'll probably be at least a 3-4 hour stream. Because by Thursday, this guy will be baked. All 3 will be ready for eyes. And I would just say screw it and stream tomorrow, but I'll be honest,
It's time to take a short break. Stand up, stretch and hydrate.
I had intended to run some errands today before stream. And with the way that I was feeling, I could have, but I was like, you know what? If I leave the house, I'm not going to stream. Because I know how this goes. I know how this goes, and I'm not doing it. So it wasn't imperative that I went out and ran errands today, but I definitely need to tomorrow. And I'm kicking around the idea of, instead of streaming on Tuesdays, streaming on Wednesdays. I just don't know which day is better for the stream. It's because it seems like Tuesdays aren't typically great for streaming. You know, which is whatever. It is what it is, but being creative, I'm more iffy on sharing my work though. I get it. It can be intimidating, man. I'll be honest, like, and it's still to some extent intimidating, especially when I'm just starting a project. You know, because I always feel real shitty about my project in the very beginning, because it's the everything is hell phase. Nothing looks good. It feels like nothing goes to plan, you know? And that's stressful. Um, totally get it. Just remember though, if you're fighting against, like, I want to do it, but like I just don't feel comfortable with it, just remember we all deal with it. We really do. And anybody that says they don't, they're bullshitting. There's always an element of nerves and doubt and self-consciousness. You know, we all deal with it. Imposter syndrome is very real. It's something that I continue to grapple with all the time, and I know I'm far from alone there. But before I keep talking and talk through an ad break like I have been lately, I'm going to pause there, because we do have an ad break coming up. It's been an hour already somehow. And then when we get back, we'll continue on getting the rest of these bevels in place and then do our blending and clean up and all that good stuff. Moving right along, though, making good progress here. So thank you guys for hanging out. Again, apologies for the low energy, but I do hope you're enjoying. Trying to take those negative feelings and energy that I deal with from time to time and get into a routine of putting them into more productive practice. You know, some days it's not doable, but some days it very much is. And it's probably the better choice, right? Than just sitting around and feeling bad about things. My own worst critic? Yep. Same. Totally understand how that goes. Nobody is harder on my work or myself than me. All right. Well, yep. Ad breaks in progress. So I'm going to throw the break screen up. I'll be right here though, so feel free to chat. I'll respond back. I am going to stand up, grab a stretch, and it's a great opportunity to do that. Reminder: just make sure you're getting some stretches in. Sitting down all day is not good for anybody. So make sure you get a stretch in. About a minute 15 on the ad break, and we'll get right back to it.
Welcome back. Let's get to it.
All right. You heard the bird. Let's get to it. Or okay. We doing that again, OBS? We playing transition sounds that shouldn't be there. All right. Get this mic in proper position because it's been kind of out of place. There we go. All right. Yeah, welcome back and welcome in anybody that's just joining us. Just getting through our first ad break of the day. We only do those once an hour, don't worry. Got to take care of Jeff Bezos though, you know. The man has 7 bathrooms. Do you know how much money it costs to put toilet paper in all those bathrooms? Especially when you're so full of it. I mean, what? Yeah, just gonna clean this guy up. Almost done with this strip. Then we'll do the same on the other side. Did we not already have a pre-cut piece, or did I? Now what? I thought we cut. Well, we're gonna have to cut another one, I guess. Okay, let's give this a brush. Oh, you know what I did not do that I wanted to do? Yeah, that isopropyl alcohol is pretty milky. Bunch of clay residue, and we don't want that. So much better. You're gonna have a little bit of residue as it is. But when the isopropyl gets kind of milky and cloudy like that, it just makes it worse because it's full of clay residue and just kind of buggers up the brush and leaves a bunch of little bumps and stuff. You don't want that. You already have to fight that a little bit as your brush dries out. That's enough for now. We'll go over it all proper once we get everything in place. We really should have worked in a little bit more yesterday, so it could have been baked further in on the sides, because he's tough to hold on to right now, and it's only going to get worse. So we'll have to be extra careful. When is the next full moon? Anybody know? Out of curiosity. We'll trim that a little bit, just like we did before. Let's go ahead and brush on our liquid polymer clay. Again, this just helps strengthen the bond between the clay, since some of it's baked. It would still stick. But this is a bit more security. Plus, it just helps hold it in place without having to smash it too much. Because we don't want that. Good old Tears for Fears. Love this song. And it's one of the best music montages in film. Referring, of course, to Donnie Darko. We ended up watching The Creator last night at you guys' recommendation. I won't go into too much on it. I'll wait until Freaky Deek's around. It was his recommendation. And he was curious. He was want me to watch it and share my thoughts on the movie. If you haven't seen it, have tissues nearby. Holy shit. Movie kind of messed me up. but definitely a good movie. Also very, very good. I don't know if they used a mix of practical and digital effects, but regardless, set design and prop and character design were top notch. Really, really cool. Now we need something else to watch. Not watched it yet? Yeah, I kept hearing like numerous people swear by that movie, that it was great, and I just hadn't watched it. But it's on Hulu. It is on Hulu. We still very much want to watch that new Kevin Costner's, what is it, Horizon Part 1. But I kind of just want to wait till Part 2 is watchable. Because of what I understand, like, it's good, it's just really long, and it doesn't really go anywhere because it's just setting up for the sequels, which is fine. But I don't want to like watch a 3-hour movie and then have to wait months and months to watch the continuation. Like I said yesterday, I'm not somebody that'll complain about runtime. If a story's good, I'll sit in the theater and watch all day, you know? Maybe give me an intermission, but attention span is not something I lack when I'm intrigued anyway. I don't have time for a lot of the things that want to just waste our time these days, but we're going to trim that up a little bit. But yeah, definitely recommend The Creator. Just make sure you have tissues nearby. It's one of those, you know. And I'll be honest, to an extent, there was hints in the movie that reminded me of what's those movies? District 9 and there was another one by the same director. It followed one specific robot, and I can't remember what it was called. I really enjoyed the movie too. Charlie or no? Chappie. That's it. Yeah. I was close, Charlie. Yeah, I'm not sure what it was. I think it's probably some of the aesthetics on the synths, artificial beings. There is definitely some similarities in there, but It was very much its own thing. Don't get me wrong. Not to say it was like, oh yeah, they were clearly like copying off of these. That's not the implication at all. Just something about the aesthetics reminded me of it, is all. Okay. Let's keep moving here. We only have 2 more pieces, but we still have plenty more work to do here. Spoon. Indeed. Rose, hello. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. How we doing today, Rose? Little hydrate break here. One of these folks who would start the film and then binge through all the how they made it. Oh yeah, same. I more not so much these days. I'll look into some things like after we watched Furiosa, I was watching all the stuff I could find on YouTube about the making of it. It's just fascinating. I've always been into film, and as a kid who was obsessed with dinosaurs and wanted to be a paleontologist, and then Jurassic Park came out when they were in 3rd grade and just blew their freaking mind. And I found myself wanting to get into special effects and production. Yeah, I was always very, very much enthused by the makings of. Did a report on the making of The Matrix in high school. And if you guys, I won't make assumptions, but anybody that wasn't around when that movie came out, that was a revolutionary film as far as effects and stuff. My mind was blown. I was very interested. But yeah, not so much these days, just because, it used to be physical media, buying Blu-rays and DVDs was a bigger thing. And something I'm trying to get back into, to be honest. Because it got way too easy just to buy digital. Especially when it came out on digital first, and I'm like, I want to watch it, so I'm just going to buy a digital instead. Yeah, you don't really get that these days, right? All the behind the scenes, unless you buy the physical. So I need to get back to that. All right, I pretty much have to just hold this guy flat in my hand for the rest of the time working on him. Can't really grip him, so just ever so slightly. We'll finish the bevels on these guys here, these two strips, and then we'll brush it down with ISO once. Then we'll start working on the top blends. And then brush them down with liquid polymer clay, and then we'll be good for the day. Like I said, I would do more today, but if I do that, it's going to make for a short stream on Thursday, and I would rather just save it for Thursday, you know? Give us a nice full fun day on Thursday. I also need to get these guys fitted to decide whether or not I'm going to put them on a wooden base or just do felt on the bottom. I would like to do a wooden base because I think it would be cool to do a black and orange pinwheel pattern on the base. But I don't know. I don't think these guys are going to fit on a 3-inch diameter. Doing good, Rose? Good. Good to hear. Back then, it was more work and building effort. These days, it's more CGI. Yeah. And I'm not like a contrarian when it comes to CGI. I'm fine with it as long as it's done well, you know? And a lot of times I feel like the people complaining about, oh, the CGI is so bad. It's like, are you serious though? Like it might not be revolutionary, but it's certainly not bad. I've seen bad CGI. And that's not to say that all movies don't have, or that some movies don't have bad CGI. I think the latest Flash movie was pretty egregious when it comes to quality. But that was the least of that movie's issues. Song is on a series or a movie. It's in a lot of stuff, Hugh. It was on Sucker Punch. You remember that movie? It was like a title track in that movie, if I'm not mistaken. And it's been, I want to say it was in American Horror Story. I could be wrong there. And it was in something recent. I can't remember what it was. Not really much to sink your teeth into. Yeah. I am glad to see that there seems to be a rising number of directors and effects crew that are really like, they're not like anti CGI, but they're very, very pro practical, and any opportunity they get to do practical, they're going to do it. Yeah, a lot of times it just comes down to budget though, you know? Like CGI is not cheap, but when you're talking about like a backdrop, it's far cheaper to CGI a background scene or create a virtual environment for, you know, those large screens like the what you call it, like Disney has one that they use for Mandalorian. God damn, why can't I think of the name? 360-degree screen, which is awesome, by the way. Very cool tech. But it's cheaper to do it that way than to build a full-on set, you know what I mean? And I get that. You're paying labor, you're paying materials, time, studio time costs money, and it's just a lot. In some aspects, film has gotten a little bit big for his britches, you know? You gotta consider the budget that it costs to make these films, and then the money that they spend on it, that's all the more that they have to earn back. And it can really doom some movies right out the gate. You know, Furiosa was not a financial success. That's a damn shame. It was a great movie. But it's also cool when you watch somebody take a small budget and stretch it and make something great that everybody loves, and then it goes gangbusters at the box office, and they make exponentially more than what they spent making it. There's an argument, and you often hear it in association with film, but I think it applies in a lot of mediums of creation, whether it be video games or film, where larger budgets kind of hinder creativity. And I get it. I don't think it's the rule per se. I don't think that just because a movie has a huge budget, it's doomed to lack creativity. But when you're strapped with a budget, you're forced to kind of think outside the box a little bit, aren't you? And that's where some of those technological breakthroughs from early cinema days, and not even early, but like 80s, 90s, some of the film breakthroughs that we've had were, examples of human ingenuity to find solutions to the problem they faced. And that problem was, how do we do this with X amount of dollars, you know? Sucker Punch? Yeah, it was, I want to say it was oh, what's his name? Why can't I think of his name? Zack Snyder. I think it was a Zack Snyder film, if I'm not mistaken. It came out after 300. It was an okay movie. It was very coolly, it's stylized. It's Zack Snyder, dude. It looks cool. And if you get much more than that, then so be it. I think Zack Snyder would be better off as a visual director than a film director, but I love his visual style, just not a big fan of his storytelling. I love Furiosa. My biggest reason why I love the CGI combined with practical is the fact that the car can survive the end of the film. Yeah. And I know that there was a lot of complaints from people when they found out, like, wait, what? They're not doing all practical? I get it. I get it. But after watching the movie, dude, I think it looked great. And I think that the practical and the digital effects were very well merged. And that's the thing. I think that we definitely need to strive to not get in this mentality of like, oh, I hate digital effects, because, you know, just like practical, digital effects have their place and time. It's when they're overused and out of place that it really stands out. And it all comes down to the crew to make the right decisions for what's practical and what serves the film the best. But again, then you still have contention with the budget and the film studios. Okay, let's let him sit and breathe for a few. Tremors is one that comes to mind with the practical effects. Yeah. And that movie's still a classic, you know? I mean, hell, look at Jurassic Park 1. Were there digital effects? Yeah, but it was predominantly practical effects where they could. And that's why that movie holds up so well today. You know, it's been 20, 10, 20, 30 years, right? Somewhere in that ballpark, 25, 30 years since that movie came out. You go sit down and watch Jurassic Park 1 and tell me that movie doesn't hold up. And it's very, very noticeable when you go into Lost World and Jurassic Park 2 and 3 that leaned more heavily into CGI. Ooh, ooh. It stands out. Boy, does it stand out. Still love the movies, but they definitely don't hold up as well as the first. All right, so what we're doing, we're just kind of waiting. I just brushed it pretty heavy with ISO, so we're gonna let it sit for a few. And when we get back to it here, we'll start blending in all of these top portions and cleaning it up as we go. Then we'll brush it all down with ISO again, let it sit for a few, and then our final step will be brushing over it entirely with some liquid polymer clay. And then from there, we'll be done for the day and get them in the oven. And in case you guys wanted to see, if you didn't, I showed at the start, but this has been baked, is ready to go. We'll do the eyes on both of these, all three of them on Thursday. This guy, it's going to have a brow that comes down to about here, eyelid rather. We'll have eyelids. There's going to be clay surrounding the entire eyeball, and then a portion that comes across here. This guy, he's going to be, you know, he's a bit surprised. We're going to do a ring around both eyes and do a little bit of shaping and detailing in there. The one we're working on, his eyes will be wrapped in a perimeter as well and blended. The eyes themselves on this guy will be black with UV resin, so they'll be shiny. And I'm really excited to see this guy finished. All of them, really, but for some reason, I really like this one. The T-Rex was a monster of an animatronic. Oh, yeah. They even had to modify the workshop mid-build because they did not even know or did not even have enough headroom. Yeah. Maybe I'm mistaken, but wasn't there some injuries involved with that animatronic? A lot of blending. Oh boy. Get this mic out of my face. Hopefully that's should be good enough. How are we doing on time? 21 minutes till the next break. Small Spoon, where you at? All these songs are in things I've watched lately. Must be good songs. Not sure, but most likely would have had a couple. Yeah, I feel like I feel like I remember hearing something about it, but I'm not certain. Yeah, that movie blew my mind as a kid, man. I was, like I said, I was obsessed with dinosaurs. Something we've talked about on this channel. But I wanted to be a paleontologist and all that. And then Jurassic Park came out and I'm like, "What? These people brought these things to life. I want to do that." And I may not be working on film, but hey, we brought a jerboa to life, right? Oh, geez, I'm minutes behind. Might be a mobile thing, Hugh. We haven't dropped any frames or anything. You know what I've noticed? It's super weird. Um, Men, Minchie will be watching this, like, and if we're both watching Andy's stream, for instance, her computer's on Wi-Fi. She's connected wirelessly. I'm hardwired, and mine will be slightly behind hers, which is super weird to me. Doesn't make any sense. I thought it was a prioritization setting on the Wi-Fi, but I don't even have that on. So It's still on the Clash now, just refreshed desktop. It just changed, so you're not too terribly far behind, I don't think. Might be a setting in your router. Yeah, it's not a prioritization thing because I don't even have that on. I've been thinking about getting a new router. Mine's not old, and there's nothing wrong with it. But I did upgrade our internet, and I just don't feel like we're getting the speeds quite where we should. And beyond that, it's a strong Wi-Fi signal, but it gets kind of weird in certain spots of the house. And I've been kind of eyeballing this Asus router. It's got like a built-in VPN and everything. And there's no extra charge for the VPN. Which, in my opinion, is great. You know, everybody wants to charge for those services now. And Asus is just like, here, you can have a router with your own VPN for free. How about that? That being said, it's a $200 router, so. Now that I just need to debate, is 1 gig wired? Is that going to be future proof? Possibly. I do live in the US. ISPs here aren't inclined to do much of anything of improvement unless they're forced to, so. Oh boy, these side pieces are going to be a little bit of a challenge. Okay, we're down to these side little sections. How we doing on time? We got plenty. In fact, playtime for the boys. The rats are going crazy. You guys want to see the new one after we're done here? The little guy, man. I mean, all of our rats are sweethearts, and I love them to death. Um, and Jack, we got Jack recently. He was brought home Minchie brought him home for food for the snake, and then couldn't do it, so he became a family instead. um, and then we got the new little guy, so he could have a cage mate, because our we'd either have to neuter Jack so he could be housed with the females, or he'd have to be on his own, and you don't want to do that, so he'd need a cage mate. So now we've got 2 males. And the new little guy's only like 2.5 months old, and he's absolutely adorable. But beyond that, he is an absolute little sweetheart. He loves pets, and he loves to sit right there beside or behind my neck on my shoulder. And I think he might be, we only brought him home Friday, and he's getting much more acclimated and comfortable. But he's very young, and I don't want to like expose him to anything that's going to compromise his bond and his trust with us. But when he's a little bit more comfortable and sure of his own movements and all of that, I think he may just be my sculpting buddy, man. He will literally just sit there on my shoulder and nuzzle up against my neck and go to sleep. Probably sand down this top blend a little bit once it's all said and done, but we'll see, because we still have to brush it down with liquid polymer clay. That'll help with that blend a little bit. And then after the bake, I'll have a bit more of an idea. Okay. We got an ad break coming up, which is fine. You know what? That'll give us plenty of time for him to sit for a minute before we brush him down with liquid clay. You guys want to see the new wrap? I'll have to take my gloves off, though. I don't really want to. I need that brush still.
It's time to take a short break.
Yep,
Stand up, stretch and hydrate.
that is what I thought. Well, that'll be the last break of the day, folks. After this break, we'll be doing some quick finishing little touches here. I would just skip the break, but if I do that, we're just going to be fighting it. It's going to be a futile battle. Trying to hold that off, finish what we're doing, and get out of here on a raid before it happens. So we may as well just let it go. And then after that, we'll finish up and we'll go say hello to somebody. I said, I apologize. I apologies. I apologize that it's a shorter stream today. But if we get into any more of the things we can do today, it's going to be a short stream on Thursday. So I would rather just get us to a point where we're ready to do all the things across all the candy corn monsters and do all the eye detail on Thursday, have a nice good stream, and finish up the sculpting portion of the project. So that's what we'll do for that. Because regardless, even if we started them today, we wouldn't finish. So it would just make for a short stream on Thursday. But a little bit more to do here. Ad starts in 40 seconds. Great time to get a stretch in. I'm going to do the same. Regardless how close we are to ending, I do need a good stretch, so we'll do that. Come back, finish up, and call it a day. In the meantime, I'm getting some of this clay residue from all these cuts and all right. What we got? Add in progress. All right, I'm going to put the break screen up. I'm going to get a stretch in, a drink, and all that good stuff. And then we'll finish up after the break. I'll see you guys then. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it.
Welcome back. Let's get to it.
All right, let's do that. Welcome back, folks. All right, so we got to brush this guy down. How do I want to do this? You know what? I'm going to clean everything off my little board here. We'll put them on the board so I don't have to worry too much about moving them to the kitchen. Also, the perfect example to show you, cosplay. It bends. Look at that. Don't often have little pieces that I can actually bend, so. Obviously, I can't put this tray in the oven, but at least it's something I don't have to worry about uh, touching him with my hands to carry him to the kitchen. Put my nasty painter's rag here. That's another thing. When I run errands tomorrow, I need to get an assortment of additional rags because this poor guy's been through it. Again, is this an absolutely necessary step? Nah, it's not. But it does help fill in some of the gaps and cracks. And more security on the bond, you know? Plus, I find it just gives it a nice little finish. Not that it matters because it'll be covered up in paint, but, you know. All right, a little bit more. Yeah, look at that fox butt. Have you ever seen a nicer fox butt? You know, of course, people watching are probably like, what the hell is he talking about? Especially on the VOD. Anybody watching the VOD, like, this dude's always talking like he's making foxes. What is he? What? Okay. I think we're good to put this guy in the oven. And with that, I think that is going to call it a day for us. We got to put these in on Thursday as well. The maker's marks. Put those in. You know what? Let me go put this guy. No, no. We're not going to put this guy in the oven quite yet because we're going to do something real quick with this guy. Remember, so these two have a spot for the maker's mark because it was this one that I was working on when I'm like, idea. And I'm like, yeah, let's do that. Well, obviously it was too late for this one, right? I have an idea. We know that's all that matters. There you go. We're going to try something. Gonna try something. What I'm thinking is we just add a little bit and blend it, right? If it doesn't work, I scrape it off. Worst case scenario. You know, this song is great. Like, I always enjoyed the sound of this song. Cool beat and all that. But it kind of sounds pretty incesty, doesn't it? Thou shalt not pass. Hey, guess what band it is?
Spoon!
That's right. It's Spoon. Rose got it. Just want to smooth this out as best as I can. We don't want large protrusions, right? So see how well I can get this blend. And then if we can cut this circle into that, that would be phenomenal. Otherwise, I'll just have to scrape it off, say we tried, and come up with a different plan. Probably just to epoxy it onto the back after the painting is done. But if we can get this to work, that's what I would like to do. Going to require just a little bit more attention here just because we're trying to blend it into an existing piece, you know. And right now, that has given me a hassle. Much better. Ooh. Looking good so far. This song is what I want to do to a dress I'm looking at right now. I like the style, but that color. Uh-oh. You gonna paint it black, Rose? Also, uh-oh.
Suddenly, I heard a tap as of someone gently rapping.
Who's that rapping?
At my chamber door.
Somebody rapping at my chamber door? Wow, words are hard today. Bowie here. Welcome in. In just a moment. Just trying to scrape some clay while it's still moist from isopropyl, you know? Yeah, we'll worry about those little buggers afterward. All right. What we got here, folks? Welcome in, Raiders. Bowie here. Thank you so much for the raid. And Raiders, thank you for joining Bowie here and coming along. Jazzy Jeff is here. Hello. Bowie Raid, welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. How was the stream today? New marbles trophy. Working on a trophy. Is that right? Let me do the thing here. All right. Yeah, folks in the chat, there's a shout out. Be sure to show some love to Bowie here, another creator and streamer here on Twitch. And phenomenal creations. It occasionally does some work with polymer clay and some air dry clay, some foam clays, if I'm not mistaken, a variety, and making some really cool stuff over there. So if you haven't already, if you're not familiar, be sure to drop a follow, check out her stream, and welcome in, Raiders. It was good, thank you. Yeah, a trophy for someone, that's awesome. That is awesome. The light blue fabric I've got with skulls and roses on it would look really nice in the style of said dress. Light blue. Ooh, yes, that would be cool. The candy corn models look great. Oh my God, thank you so much. Yeah, we're closing in on the finishing touches for the day today. But right now we're coming back to this guy because I had an idea after I finished this guy. Of course, you know, I was working on the second one. And this guy had already been baked, so we're kind of adding a little bit because I want this. And this is a little spot for a maker's mark to be attached after the fact. He says as he struggles. But yeah, we'll put the maker's mark right in these little bevels. And then Thursday we'll have everything ready to go, and we're going to go in around the eyes on each and every one and do the eyelids and all of that. So Thursday we'll be finishing up these guys and getting them into painting. I can't touch this guy a whole lot, but there's this guy. He's got a lot of wet clay on him and a coat of liquid polymer clay. He's ready to go in the oven. But yeah, welcome in. The candy corn. I keep catching myself trying to say candy cane all the time. Ask chat. I've said candy cane so much. My candy corn monster started off at the end of 2022 as these little guys. When I got back into sculpting towards the end of 2022, I had some polymer clay laying around, and I just made these little guys for fun. Nothing special, but they were fun to make. And I thought, why don't we scale them up and add some more detail for this iteration? And gradually kind of working towards where I think future iterations should be. We may make another one, a smaller scale one yet. But I think this is like the perfect size for future iterations. These guys are great, but I've used a lot more clay in these than I anticipated. It is what it is, you know, just one of those things. Those little teeth, yeah, they were fun. I like this guy's teeth. These are going to be fun to paint. And sculpting me was once again terrible to painting me. This is going to be very fun to paint back inside his mouth. We'll probably just throw some washes in there and tilt it from side to side. Let it do its thing, you know. He's going to be difficult on the mouth. And this guy, well, both the other two have recessed cavities. and their teeth are going to make painting a little bit challenging. But again, the mouths we'll do in layered washes, so a little bit of this will go a long way, you know. Just kind of letting it run around and do its thing. But that'll be our first step with painting. So anything that runs out will get covered up with primer or whatever. So yeah, it's been we're on day 9, 8, 9, somewhere in there. Thank you. Yeah, these guys have been fun. These guys have been a lot of fun. And then after this, we're going to do some pumpkin monsters. So my very first YouTube video was my pumpkin monster sculpt. And I want to take the things that I've learned and improvements that I've made to techniques along the way. And I want to revisit that project, make something cool. And it's finally spooky season. I don't know about you guys, but I'm happy about that. So yeah, thank you again for the raid. And Bowie here, if you've got anything, do you have any updates on your project that you're working on Instagram? I can pull that up and take a look. I do apologize in advance. I'm gonna have to figure something out on this because I have it set up to where I can permit links, but it never works. And the last time we tried it, it timed that person out and I felt awful. So yeah, but I am following you on Instagram. So let me know. I can pull it up and I'd be happy to take a look. And again, folks, if you are not following Bowie here, be sure to drop a follow, check out her stream. We certainly appreciate the raids. I don't, I'm afraid, but thank you. I tend to just do TikTok after the fact. Yeah, I'm terrible with Instagram. I was doing pretty good with the Jerboa, but ever since the Jerboa, I'm pretty much like, I'll post a picture when I'm done. I know some people like the updates and stuff, and that's why I did it. I figured anybody interested, it's there. But then I feel like my entire Instagram feed is just the Jerboa at this point. So just trying to reduce the repetition on my Instagram page, I guess. That doesn't protrude too bad. We still need a little bit of work on this blend right here. How do you find is TikTok, like, does arts and stuff do pretty good over there? Or I messed around with it a little bit when I was just doing the YouTube stuff, but I don't know. It just felt like it was getting like 0 engagement whatsoever, and I just kind of stopped. Plus, I just, nothing against shorts, you know, short form content. Totally get it. And not at all a criticism, but for me, I just I don't care to spend the time messing with it myself. I don't even do anything particularly special on Instagram. I just post my YouTube video. Who wears shorts? It's okay. I've never YouTubed, so I don't know the comparison. Yeah, you know, so I started out doing long form content on YouTube. I would occasionally throw some shorts in, cut from the long form content. And it would, like, as far as YouTube goes, shorts, it was hit and miss. I had some that went gangbusters, and I had some that didn't do anything at all. But the hope was that by converting some things into shorts, it would carry over a little bit into my long form content, you know? It doesn't. It didn't at all. So for me, it just seemed like what I was trying to do, it wasn't working. I'm sure that a few people that found the shorts watched my full length videos, but I certainly didn't see any kind of substantial change. So it's tough, man. It's tough. A lot of options when it comes to, you know, social platforms and where to share your work. And I kind of just truly think at this point, it all comes down to individual circumstance, you know? I don't think there's a written rule. Oh, this one's not wanting to come off of here very easy. Same on TikTok. Algorithms are a minefield. Yep. And that's the point where I got to. Even recently, I was getting kind of frustrated with things, and I just decided, you know what? I've always been doing this for me, and I get this idea in my head where, oh, I could turn this into something bigger. And then I get carried away with that. I start playing to the algorithms, and I just don't want to do that. I'm here for me and the community, and to have fun and to do what I enjoy. I am not entertaining an algorithm. That's not a healthy way to operate, you know? You know, we all used to think about, like, what do other people want to see? I want to make stuff that other people want to see. And that in and of itself isn't necessarily the best mindset, but at least we're like trying to appease to people and not like a machine. Things are definitely, they changed in a hurry, didn't they? I just like people to have a place to see what I've made. Yeah, exactly. That's the way I'm trying to look at it. You know, like with my YouTube channel, for instance, it's disappointing every time I post a video at this point, because when I took a break, the algorithm just like put up its middle fingers and walked away, you know? Um, which is a bummer, but it is what it is. So now I just look at it as like, you know, there's an entire catalog of my work there, not just for other people to see, but for me to look back on. And that's pretty cool. And that's kind of like what we're doing here with revisiting some of my past projects. That kind of plays into that whole thing. It's really cool to see where you improve along the way, right? And these little digital catalogs that we're able to build are a perfect way to observe that in real time. So pretty cool. Regardless, you know? That's better, right? It's not perfect like the other ones, but it works. And once it's epoxied in there and sealed up with a resin, I think that'll do it. We'll get that in the oven right with the other one. Ooh, I should probably brush it down just to make sure everything's sealed up. And I got sandpaper grit in my brush. That's better. Okay, that'll do it. Sure I don't lose these. In fact, let's put them right there. I don't think we need any more flat clay, so we can put all this away as well. Gonna drop a lurk, finish some stuff up. Oh yeah, sorry about Bo here. By all means, yeah, do what you need to do. I totally get it. De-stream, all that good stuff. And thank you again for the raid. I very much appreciate it. Had a bit of a low energy stream today, just kind of rough start to the day, but had work to do, so went live in spite of it. Got what we need done, and you know what? I'm glad I did. I feel a little bit better. And I'm certainly glad to stay on track because I want to get these guys the sculpting done this week. So Thursday will be a wrap on the sculpting portion, and then we'll move into painting and finish these guys up. And then just a reminder, folks, we are giving one of these away. Any subscriptions or gifted subs through the month of October, through the month of September, from September 1st through September 30th, count as an entry. And then next month, first week, sometime, I guess that's next week, isn't it? We'll announce a date. We'll go live. We'll have all the names in a hat or a container, and we'll draw one winner. They get to pick one of these guys, and shipping is covered. I will ship it. And you'll be the first person to own one of my sculpts outside of myself and Menchie. Because, of course, I've never done this for anything other than myself. You will be a first. Okay, so I will get these guys in the oven. Have them ready to go for Thursday. Thursday we'll finish it up, but for now, let's hang out a minute and find somebody to go say hello to. All right, what do we got? pull up Twitch. And also, just a reminder, I'm going to throw some links in the chat, by the way. First and foremost, there's a link to the main YouTube channel. That's where you can find... wow, I can't talk today. I'm sorry, guys. That's where you can find all my work, past and present, in the form of condensed time lapses and showcase videos. All of that's there, including the stuff we've sculpted on stream, and these guys will be getting a showcase as well. Everything that we do on stream gets a showcase. And there's a link to the Discord, which is the best place to find all the latest updates on the stream, the channel, any modifications to the schedule, updates to the schedule, all that good stuff. And we got channels in there for you to show your artwork. Captain Shire, I see you're in the Discord. Thank you for joining. Welcome in. Let me get you set up as a Raven. And now you have access. Welcome in. Welcome in. Let me mark that off. There we go. And speaking of the Discord and showing your art, something that we started last month. Oh, Hanny Ann, welcome in. Oh, it's Miss Hanny Ann. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hello. Yeah, I got you all set up there. Welcome in. There is a art gallery channel, right? But there's also a community showcase channel. Now, the community showcase is something we kicked off last month. You guys spend all kinds of time sitting here watching me work on things, and I love seeing what you guys are up to as well. And we are a small, growing community. So I thought maybe once a month, it would be good to start it off with once a month on the final Thursday streams. At the end of the stream, we'll set some time aside, and we'll explore the community showcase channel together and take a look at what you guys are or have been up to for the month. So you're welcome to share any of your creative works in there, whether they're works in progress or completed works, and you want to share it, by all means, post it in there. We'll take a look at it on Thursday. Like I said, work in progress is fine. Just no concepts, you know, make sure there's something tangible for us to take a look at. And if you have links that people can follow along and check out your work and stay up to date, whether it be Twitch or Instagram or YouTube, by all means, please do include those links in your post so I can share that information on stream as well. So that'll be Thursday. We're going to be finishing up the sculpting portion of the candy cane. See, I did it again. It's horrible. It's horrible. I keep saying candy cane. We'll be finishing up the candy corn monsters. And specifically, we'll be working on the eyes and getting those done. And then from there, I'm hoping to get some weekend streams in where we can start the painting process and have painting and everything done by the end of next week. And then, of course, we'll have the giveaway next week. And then we'll be on our way to sculpting some pumpkin monsters. Sound like a plan? Because it sounds like a plan to me. We're doing well. Making good time, staying on course. I'm happy with it. So, and then, you know, night streams are going to be a thing when appropriate. I can't stream at night typically because I can't talk on the mic. So I decided, what if we do like Feral Moon After Dark and just do no mic streams with some chill music and sculpting. When there's work that supports that kind of thing, we'll definitely be doing that. And I imagine that next month is going to be a great opportunity. I was thinking tonight, but we made such good progress yesterday that there just wasn't enough to support it. You know, we finished up everything except for the eyes, and that's going to be Thursday's stream. Otherwise, we're going to have a very short day on Thursday. So, yeah, we'll plan on Thursday being the next stream. We'll finish these guys up, and I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. And just a reminder, I've decided winner just gets to pick out of the three. You get to pick which candy corn you want. I won't name my favorites because I don't want anybody to feel bad or base their choices around it. I'll just have to grimace and bear it and deal with it because I've never had to say goodbye to any of my projects before. It'll be a little bit weird to say goodbye, but it's fine. let's take a look. There's a skeleton person dancing on Twitch's homepage. What is happening? Let's take a look and see who we got streaming and who we can go say hello to. Wow, Burke Black's live right now. What? He's a nighttime streamer. Must be an event. Yep, event start. Okay. We got some art. We got some more hammer. We got some. I'm not sure what's happening. Oh, that's Kiratissa. She's making jewelry. That's a possibility. Mitchie Myers. She's an awesome illustrationist working on some cool stuff. We could go say hello to her. Zebra Acrylics is live. So is Fiend. Artwork by Andy. What's he working on right now? You guys want to see an amazing paint airbrush artist? Holy crap. This guy right here. Look no further. In fact, why don't we go say hello to
Cheers, dude. Thank you very much.
Let's go say hello to Andy. Let me just show you real quick. Let me show you real quick some of his past work. And then we'll get the raid calls out and go say hello. So he works on a variety of mediums. I've seen him paint right on semi-trucks. It's crazy. Look at this. That's a gas tank on a motorcycle. And yeah, this is on the back of a semi here. Another fuel tank. But yeah, look at this. This is mind blowing. It looks like you can literally walk up to this truck and peel this piece of paper off, except it's not a piece of paper, it's painted. It's insane. Insane. Just the shading and the three dimension of it, it's just mind blowing, you know? So yeah, Andy's great. Why don't you guys join me in coming along, saying hello. If you like what you see, be sure to drop a follow. If not, you know, no harm, no foul. It's always nice to meet new people here on Twitch. But yeah, we'll go say hello to Andy. But first, let's hop over here. I got some thank yous. M is the letter M. Thank you for the follow. And Rob, thank you for the follow. Bowie Hair, thank you for the raid. And Raiders, thank you for coming along. I hope you enjoyed. It was a pleasure hanging out with you guys. Like I said, it's been a bit of a rough day, you know, to the start of the day. I pushed through it, and I was intent on going live because there was work to be done, and I didn't want to get behind. And I'm very glad I did. I really am. Definitely an improvement to my day. So thank you guys for being a part of that and working along with me while we finish up this phase of the sculpt. And we did. Look at that. So thank you guys very, very much. I appreciate it. I'm going to get the raid calls out, non-subs. That one's for you. And if you're subbed to the channel, that second one is for you. Why did it do that twice? I must accidentally double tap the button. Get those copied, ready to go. I'm going to do the same, and we are going to go say hello to artwork by Andy. Let me pull that up. Raid is initiated. And there we go. Again, folks, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you, Rose. Very much appreciate it. Miss Hanny Ann. And Captain Shires. and Bowie Hair and Jazzy and anyone else out there that may be hanging out with us lurking. I very much appreciate you. Corpse, if you're still there, buddy. Thank you guys. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed. I will be back here on Thursday. We'll be finishing up the sculpts by working on the eye detail on these guys and getting that complete. So I will see you guys then. Tomorrow's an errand day for me, getting stuff done around the house and outside the house and all of that good stuff. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday. I'll probably see you at Andy's stream if you're hanging out at Andy Mecca's stream tomorrow. I will certainly be there. So maybe I'll see you there. But until Thursday, you guys take care. Have a good one. Get those raid calls ready. Throw them in the chat when we get over to Artwork by Andy's, and I will see you guys on the other side. Take care. Take it easy. Have a good one. I'll see you guys Thursday. Bye, guys. One last spoon. Get it in there. Thank you, guys.